everybody. What's going on? Happy Labor Day, right? Happy Labor Day. And I need some more coffee. I just cooked a show. Hello, what's happening? Stuff's cold. Been working all day. We don't stop, right? That's part of being in trucking. There is no day off 24/7 type of thing. PJ, what's going on? Shannon's Time and Trucking. I'm here. Yes, you can make jokes about me. Well, we haven't made jokes yet. If you want to join in this conversation, there's a link. Click on it, and we will get doing that. Now, I don't have my whiteboard pad fixed up because I had to switch to a different computer because my other computer was too old and it wasn't updating anymore and blah, 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 blah. So I'm trying to figure out how to get that set up onto this because there's 3 screens here. That'd be a 4 screen. And we're using a trash can for a computer. We're using a trash can. So with all that said, we will work out that technical difficulty. If not, then we'll go back to the old school whiteboard from Thunder Funding. The best funding company around, period. If you want to apply there and get your funding, tell them we sent you. You'll get a good discount, all that good stuff. thunderfunding.com. Now, we will go to... let's talk a little bit about freight lanes, freight choosing. And everybody knows if you watch this channel and if you watch all these other channels that tell you, run your business, rate per mile, that type of garbage, that's the quickest way to go out of business. Let's see here. I think we have a guest in here. STT, the pupil. Now I got to wear these. She just wanted me to wear these. All right, go ahead. What do we got?
I'm just here for my my lashing.
Oh, is that?
I'm being strong and I'm gonna take it because I deserve it. So you're welcome to say whatever for the lesson and use me as the example for everyone's entertainment.
No, I won't do that. I got
to. Well, we want to help people learn, right? We want to help people learn. So
right. Well, all right. So let's take a learning on if you're in a bad freight market area. Now, there's always controversy about deadhead. And we always said on this channel, deadhead is your what?
Enemy.
No.
Oh,
it's your friend.
Oh, it's your friend. Okay.
Deadhead is your friend. Because, for example, if you were down, let's say in Florida, and you didn't want to haul out of Florida for cheap, so they entice you with these small runs, but those small runs do not generate the revenue that you need for a daily rate.
Right.
Because
yes,
the only way to run your trucking business is by cost per day, not cost per mile. Because it's too hard to figure out cost per mile. Right? Because it changes. Right. If you don't run the miles that you're figuring your cost on, then what is it?
Right.
You won't know until the end of the month.
Per day rate is the way to go.
Right. So if you're doing per day rate, and let's say you have a $300 run, takes you from one location to another location, interstate, or you could deadhead out 500 or 600 miles and get you a good load.
But wait, Jeff, people might say, what?
Well,
Jeff,
well,
500 miles? What are
well,
you saying?
okay, so let's look at 500 miles. That's a 1 day, right?
Yes.
And it's costing you fuel. Correct? So if somebody said, okay, I'm going to run 2 days in this state because all I can find is, let's say, $300 loads, that's $600 for 2 days. But if they deadheaded 500 miles, let's say, picked up a load that paid $1,400, delivered the next day, now they got 2 $700 days instead of 2 $300 days. And if you subtract that fuel, which is going to be about $250 or so, then you're down to what, $575 a day, which is still better than $300, which is almost double your revenue per day. So boom, hey, it works, right? It works. Nida says bye for now.
Just so everybody knows, I stand corrected today. This is my lesson that I'm learning at Lake Trucking today from the professor. So that's what this is all about. This is my lesson I learned today.
PJ says deadhead 200 miles at a time and then check the boards. Right. So for example, even if you only did one load for the 1 day, and then the next day you're going to get, let's say, a $1,400 load out of Florida up to the Midwest, we'll just say Indiana, you'd be better off to deadhead the first day, pick a load up, deliver up in that same area for $1,400 or more money, because you're getting better fuel mileage, you're not wasting the day, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong when you're down in that area where freight is cheap, freight is tough, because you got a lot more loads that cancel. And let's just look at the real thing in trucking. What do you have that could happen to you on, let's say, a $1,400 run out of Florida to the Midwest? What's the number one thing that can happen in this day and time with this economy? Can you guess it, Shannon?
It'll cancel?
Well, they call it saying it'll cancel, but did someone come in and undercut you?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Because brokers are good for that.
I thought you meant if you had a
Well,
yeah.
Brokers are good for that, right? They will call you up, tell you the load canceled, but they got somebody to haul it for $1,200 instead of $1,400. Their easiest way out of it is say, oh, that load canceled, and since you didn't go there, we don't have to pay you the TONU. And people say, well, brokers wouldn't do that. Come on now. All right? We all worked at companies that said the load canceled and another truck came in and took it.
Because down here, there's a lot of desperation that goes on, right?
Right.
Yes.
Fishing.
And so that's more likely to happen down here.
Right. Fish in His Life says delivering to Arcata, Florida today at 5 p.m. after I'm heading to Atlanta for tomorrow load. It's getting hard out of here for a pimp. What's up, Dee Dee? Dee Dee, Dee Dee. Dee Dee. Cash says I did hit 8 hours to pick a load up that pays minimum $3,000 for $1.75 a day. That's right. Mac the Trucker, cost per day, over rate per mile, all day long. It definitely works. The only thing that matters is how much you keep. Exactly, Big Mac. Safe travels, says Jeff. Big Mac, I will send you, if I remember, the brokerage agreement deal there. I'll send that to you, if I remember. I have so much stuff going on. You know, I'm still trying. Now, Shannon, I'm still waiting for, I'm going to call them lazy real estate agents to send that paper I need. They still haven't sent it.
Stay on. You want me to call them?
Yeah.
You want me to call them? I'll light a fire.
Yeah, I called this guy and said, look, where is it? Oh, well, the broker's got to sign it. Well, tell him to sign it. And of course, Chris knows the guy. And he says he's pretty lackadaisical. In other words, right? So sometime in the next 20 years, this will get done. Hey, that's nice interior.
Wow. Do you like my studio?
Yeah, I like your stitching. That makes it look nice.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that side. Yeah, it feels nice. I like it. I touch it from now to time.
So we got to work.
It's very comfortable in here. It's a very nice place.
You got to work at getting back up to the Midwest, and then out to your trucking gig that you do.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. I'm gonna totally. For the audience, I got myself in a situation, you guys. Okay, Jeff doesn't want to say it because he's kind and he's trying to be nice. But I got myself in a situation, and out of some stress because I got delayed from the hurricane, and then the holiday weekend comes. And then I'm in Florida. Like, you mush all that together, and I've been sitting too long, and because of happenstances, and needless to say, I've been getting a little antsy. So
just a little.
So I got myself in a situation, and so I had Jeff. There's a lesson out of it. So
instead of calling, you resorted to other stuff, I guess.
Well, I was gonna call, but so this was late last night when I was trying to get all my ducks in a row, and then this morning, because I was up so late doing that, I kind of slept in this morning, and then Randy called me, right? So before I could call anybody, Randy called me, and we were talking about it, and then that's when you called me. So I was getting there.
And this is what you were looking at last week.
Yeah.
So you're the dot right up here, or right over there.
Yeah, over there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really see it. There we go. Anyway.
I literally was in the spot between two storms. One being the hurricane, and then one being a tropical storm.
But you got a free truck wash out of it.
Yeah, I did drive through some rain one time.
Well, you got lucky you didn't stop.
At the truck stop it just sprinkled, and there was no wind, and it was like the quietest place on earth. It was really strange and wonderful. I was glad though. I expected some wind, but it never came. Right.
Yeah. So somebody asked if Shannon, did you get the AC fixed?
I haven't even had time for any of that.
No, she's too busy.
Because it's
She,
a holiday weekend. These dealerships are not open either. Like, settle down, everybody. They're not open. I can't get to a place that's open. It's a holiday weekend. The world is dead, and I am gotta wait until it wakes back up again, until I can get back to my life.
and so she's in Florida, on the beach, with Dee Dee, hanging out, enjoying life. You know,
Being a slacker.
don't you have family down there?
Yeah. My sister. We went out and had sushi.
Yeah, I think
Day
I
before
seen
yesterday.
that. I think I seen that.
Yeah, crazy sushi.
Well, you videotaped it.
I did. It was great. I ate so much sushi that I could have exploded, and I almost did. But it was so good because Florida sushi is the fresh fish right out the water, so it's a whole more wonderful experience for sushi.
How do you know that?
And so that was a lot of fun. So
They
she
can
got me out
freeze
of the
it.
truck because I've had sushi in Michigan, and I've had sushi in Michigan, I've had sushi in Chicago, and I've had sushi in Florida. Totally different when you get your seafood down here.
What about sushi in California?
No, I've never been to California.
How about?
But I hear
Maine?
I hear that Sterling made the case that California sushi is definitely the best.
How about Maine?
I haven't been there either.
See, I bet you Maine would say theirs is better than California.
I hear the lobster's the best up there. Like, you can't get, that's where they get it at, and it's real refreshing. So if I ever do go to Maine, I'm gonna try to have fresh Maine lobster.
Well, let's get you to Maine.
Settle down.
we will call up that broker and get you a 20 stopper in Maine.
I mean, if it's like that, I would go. But if it's like, okay, we're going from here to Maine and then try to find a load out, like, that's no good.
Right. So,
I'm down for the multi-stops and all that kind of stuff.
So to help people out,
and I think it goes up there.
Right. So to help people out, when you're in a situation, and there's a lot of drivers that do not believe in deadhead. They think they're wasting money, when actually they're losing money in most cases if they don't. So,
hence that's what I got myself into, right? I was trying to patch loads together so that I would avoid deadhead. And what did it do, Jeff? It costed me how many days?
It cost you
a lot of revenue.
All it's doing is giving you a suntan. That's it.
I'm not even getting that because it's too hot out there.
You gotta just go out there and walk around. Dee Dee will go.
I did. Me and Dee Dee went on a couple walks today, to reduce the cortisol levels. And it's a beautiful day, but it gets real hot real fast,
So
So
if you put in, let's say, a 500-mile radius around where you're at and a 500-mile radius around where you want to go, look at the load board that way, see what the highest paying loads are, and then figure out your daily take out of that. Right? Your daily net.
yeah.
And if
and then if I have to be able to fit in a load in between there, then good. If not,
right,
we deadhead.
But if that makes your daily goal, then it's all good. And where
Yep.
people, and I'm gonna get a lot of controversy, right? They're gonna say something, but it doesn't matter what the rate per mile is, because that will put you out of business And that's why a lot of these companies and a lot of these single owner operators are out of business, because they have the mindset that I'm not hauling cheap freight. I'm not hauling less than for $2.50 a mile or $2 a mile. So they sit. Bills don't get paid. Collections start to happen, and they go out of business. That's why you can look all over Facebook and you see 2020 trucks going for $20,000, $30,000, where 2 years ago those were $80,000 or $90,000 or $100,000. Now you're seeing them for 30 grand or less. Why? They're all out of business. Because
The mindset.
the mindset. And there's some channels out there that get a ton of views, and they're teaching this business wrong. And all it's going to do is affect those folks that watch those channels. It's going to put them out of business. Because these individuals are saying, hey, if you can't find a load that pays X amount per mile, just sit. Do you know any business?
And wait for the rates to come back.
Right. Do you know any business out there, Shannon, that just closes the doors because they don't get the money they want? Could you imagine McDonald's? No. Could you imagine McDonald's or any fast food restaurant that says, oh, well, Tuesday and Thursday between noon and 3, we get no business, so we just close the doors between noon and 3. How many do that?
We only had one customer, so yeah.
But how many do that, right? None of them.
Oh. Yeah, they don't, because
right.
That would be foolish, because a busload of students could come in at any time.
But that's the thing. Why is it okay for trucking businesses, these guys that do that, they think that's the way to do it, when all the other businesses do not do that? It's mentality.
It's mentality, and it's not okay. If they could open up their mindset just a little bit, like, it's not okay. You're running a business. You gotta try to be open as much as you can. You know, especially when it gets real competitive, right?
Right. And
you don't want to be sitting at home and miss, you know.
And here's what's happened to trucking. They've taught this for years and years and years, and they instilled this rate per mile into people's brains. And that's the problem. Because they think freight should pay X amount per mile.
So the brokers talk to you like that.
Right.
The brokers talk to you like that. They say, oh no, we can only do X amount per mile.
What would they do?
Right. And they talk to you like that. So
what would they do if all the owner operators out there figured their cost on a daily rate, and then when they called up on that load, if that load was way less than their daily rate, they gave them a number, right? And most people give them pretty close to the same number, because most people are within $100 a day of each other, pretty much. Depending on your home, right? Your home expenses. But most people are within that range. So then everybody would be asking for almost the same amount of money. Then there wouldn't be these 70 cents a mile, because that gets nowhere near a daily rate. And
Right.
time is money, right? Time is money. So they're paying for your time. And
That's
truck
the thing
order,
I noticed on the load boards.
and truck order not
I
used would
noticed on the
not be
boards that
$150. They'd be $300.
right.
Like they really are, because brokers are keeping a lot of that money. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only ever gotten like 150, I think,
Well, you've
at
gotten
most.
250. You gotten 250 once or twice. But that just shows you, if they can pay 250 instead of 150, what are they really getting? Because they're going to make a
Yeah,
percentage. They're going to make a percentage on that. So if most brokers, let's say, run on a 20%, then it's really $300 a day if they're paying around 250, right? But if they pay 150, they're keeping half.
yeah, yeah.
And they're not going to show
I
you
think
that.
so.
They're not going to show you that contract with their customer.
No, and they shouldn't have to,
Right.
because even on this side of the fence, like everybody wants to pick the broker's pocket or picks the next guy's pocket. Like that's not business. You don't go do that to any place that you shop at. I mean, you might, but you still have to pay the price.
Wait,
Whatever their markup is, that's their business. Like they
you
have to pay bills too to be in business.
you don't go into Starbucks and say, "Hey, that $5 green tea frappuccino Dean drink, $6." You don't walk in there and go, well, "I'll give you $3 for it." No, it's $6. No, I'll give you $4. No, it's $6. They don't come down on their price. Same thing with McDonald's, right?
And you don't tell them like, yeah, and you can't say to them like, hey, I know that coffee makes 4 cents to make, so you can come down on the price. You're not going to tell Starbucks how to run their business.
Right.
You're going to pay for the coffee or you're not. So you
Right.
can't go to a broker and say like, I know you're making $5,000 on that load. I know that you can come up on my rate. I mean, you can say that all day long, but they have a business to run too. And it's none of their business how I run my business. It's none of my business how they run their business. It's our job to work together and come to a business agreement
Well, and brokers
to get
are
the service
no.
done.
See, what people don't understand is brokers are no different than truck drivers. Okay? For instance, their business and our business. The broker, there's a million of them out there, right? There's tons of brokers out there. So one broker might not have the daily expense of broker B and broker C and broker D. Therefore, he can
Right.
post it out there and give you more of the rate because he's still making his daily amount and he moves the load, where another broker might need to make 20, 30, 40%, whatever, because he has a higher expense.
Because he has 18,000 employees
Right.
and large warehouses
And
and office buildings.
he lives in a $2 million home and drives $300,000 cars, where the other broker lives in a $100,000 house and drives a $2,000 car. Different expenses, right?
It's the same with us.
Same thing with trucking,
Yeah.
right? I have more expenses than you do, right? You know people out there in trucking have less expenses than you do, and you know ones that have more than you do. So it's all.
I haven't found anybody that has less than I do yet, actually. But most people have more than I do. So. But I'm happy to be that person that has almost none.
I'll trade you. You can have my expenses.
I don't know if that'd be a good idea. I don't know. I don't know if I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot to carry. And like I said to you before, it ain't easy being the king. As part of the sacrifices, you have to carry all that weight.
I
A
should
lot of
have
responsibility.
I should have
But
slept in today.
that's what it
It
takes to grow a business.
it'd been my only day I slept in months. I should have slept in today. But I got
I
a
get
text
sleep
message.
in.
I got a text message this morning that woke me up about, hey, isn't payroll sometime today or something?
Someday, at this point, I'm like, am I gonna get paid someday? Because it's I'm like, I delivered that load on Friday, and it's all because of this holiday weekend. I
Well,
hate holidays. I
but
hate
you
holiday weekends.
but you got to technically,
Yeah, it
okay,
only
wait.
feels like forever.
Technically, right? We do next business day pay, right? So
Always. That's why I'm
what
feeling like this because
what that means
it's
is
delayed because of the weekend.
if you deliver on Friday, Monday we do the payroll for Friday, right? Monday is a
Yes.
holiday. So technically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday loads get done on Tuesday. But I'm not that average person, so I'm working on a holiday. So I paid on a holiday. When technically we don't have to, but I do because it helps everybody out.
Yeah, because you got our backs like that. You take good care of your drivers always, and
So
that's a 24/7 job right there,
you asked,
right?
you received, right?
Yes. It just it's not that I was trying to be that kind of
Jerome
way,
Jones.
but
Look at Jerome.
I'm just like I'm so used to getting paid so fast, ain't I, Jeff? Like I'm like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, I'm getting all this money. So I'm so used to that. This stretch for me, it feels like a month. It feels like it's been so much longer because I'm just so used to like bang, 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 I get paid.
Right. And you are, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Please say it.
You cause me a lot of work on payroll. You do.
I did.
Well, yeah, because you want it every line item every single day instead of saying if it's 5 days from the last time you delivered, that number times 5, it'd be a lot easier than going 5 separate lines.
I
Just saying.
agree. I'd be willing to compromise on a date range because also what I'm really after is the date ranges so that I can check off my
Well,
dates.
that would have been nice for me today because instead of 35
Right?
entries, I could have had like 4 with the range, right?
I mean, it's okay. We can adapt that to be more efficient. I'm
All right.
I'm I'm willing to flex on that. Like, because I know it eventually, what if I get a 32 stop load? Then I'm going to have like a pay stub like that thick
Yeah,
with all those line items.
you'll have 22 pages. You have to,
Right.
right?
Yeah. I
So,
think just putting the date range in there so that it's documented would be better and easier for you.
oh, I'm glad. Well, the date range would have to be let's say August 25th was the first entry. Then the next entry would have the same deduction, but say September 3rd. That way you know it covered everything from there to there. Entry for the beginning date and an entry for the
Right.
ending date.
That would be great.
Okay. That's what I do for everybody else.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
But I was just accommodating
Okay,
your
that's a great idea.
daily thing.
I know. Thank you, and I appreciate you. I was just trying to accommodate my accounting system that I make sure that because I'm paying. I'm trying to memorize like exactly like what my monthly expenses are, right, for the truck. Like this is what I pay, and then how that breaks down every day. Which you break it down every day, and that's fine. Um, but I just so I know that it's I'm up to speed. I'm always, where I'm at with my payments. Like, if I got a day coming, because I want to anticipate that coming out of the next pay, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to just stay on top of it. But the date range will work. It's okay. We can save all that ink, right? We're going to save money, save paper,
Right.
and line items, and labor hours.
Save your trees. Save your trees. Yeah.
Well, we got to save you time because you're very, very busy.
Actually, I'll be going outside and getting some of that work done today. Because winter is coming upon us soon. Right?
Hey, speaking of that,
Yes.
what is the good rule of thumb about going out west and chains and all that?
Well, if you go to Denver and don't go past Denver, then you're okay.
Do you have to have chains after a certain date
You'd
going
have to
to
look.
Denver?
You'd have to look at that state and see what the requirement is. I know you have to have them once you go past Denver, but I'd have to go back and read it
Yeah.
and see because I never carried chains on my truck in like 28 years. I never carried them because my
Yeah,
philosophy was
I'm not trying to do that either.
if you had a chain up, it's not worth going. That was my philosophy.
You don't go. Right. That's my rule
You
too.
don't go.
That's my rule too. I am not trying to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. And
And
I
I
don't want to go any states that
and I used to
do
go
that.
out west all year long to California. But in the winter, I go the southern route back and forth.
Oh, you don't have to have chains going down that way?
No, no, you can run all the way across to I-40 and you don't have to have chains.
Okay. I see. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So, yeah, you might get a little snow in Flagstaff and things like that, but or down on 10 in New Mexico. Sometimes it snows there.
Yeah, I've driven through there when it snowed. I got pictures of it from years ago. When I first got my CDL license, we were running down through New Mexico to get to El Paso, running auto parts down there, and I thought the world was coming to an end. I never imagined in my life that there would be snow in the desert, and sure enough, there was, and it was frozen, and I took pictures of it like it was. I just never
See,
imagined that it did because I didn't know anything
Tom,
about that.
Tom
Apparently,
says
it does get cold in New Mexico.
Colorado, September 1st, must carry west of Denver. So is that correct, Tom? You can go to Denver without chains, but if you go west of Denver, you got to have the chains. Is that a correct statement? Because I've never been pulled over
Yeah.
going to Denver without chains in my whole time. They've never asked because I don't believe there's on 70 that there's any mountains that require chains before you get to Denver.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I don't think so. But it's if you're getting up in those mountains, of course the weather gets totally changes up there, so I can see that. But I'm not going up there.
Pigtail
It's
says
past September 1st,
seasonal.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So seasonal closure says Pigtail. So you could take that as, for what it is. And if you don't want to carry chains, then carry an equivalent, right? Throw them in your side box or
Socks.
whatever. Yeah, something. You're never going to put them on it anyway. What's
I'm not doing it. I'll stay in the Midwest or in the South. I'm
There
good.
you go. What's Dee Dee eating?
Uh, these, it is peanut butter flavor dog cookies wrapped, biscuit, it says, wrapped with chicken. So it's
Why
got like chicken jerky wrapped around it, but it's a little cookie,
why is she eating
doggy
peanut
cookie.
butter?
Because she's being good. She's not barking. See how good
Well,
she's being right
didn't
now?
you
Look at
say
her
peanut
face.
butter's no good for you?
Well, I'm
Oh.
pretty sure that yes, that's true. No peanut butter for you, and no peanut butter for me. But she's a dog,
And
and
what's
she eats all kinds of
that
crap.
makes her different? Why?
It's not really.
Okay.
But my sister gave me these, and they were free, and there was like 4 little biscuits left, and so she does deserve a treat because she's a really good driver.
Tom
And
says
she's
yeah.
not barking on a live.
Right. Well, that's because she's a guest. She's a guest. She's being good. Right. All right. So hopefully people have learned something today.
I sure did. My mindset is fixed.
Flatbed trucker, before we leave, I will let STT answer your question. Why is peanut butter bad for you?
Oh, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV, but you should do your research. Um, Peanuts are not nuts, and they're actually beans, and they are full of lectins, which actually tear your gut lining. And so I'm going to make this really short, but you're going to do your research anyways. But the reason why I have forbidden Jeff to eat peanuts anymore, and I don't eat peanuts, and I don't want Karen to eat peanuts, none of the kids eat peanuts, and I don't want anybody to eat peanuts because they're very high in lectins. The lectins is what makes the little tears in your gut lining, which helps promotes leaky gut. And when you have leaky gut, it makes it harder for you to lose weight and can kind of slow down your metabolism and your immune system, right? Because you're getting literal crap inside your bloodstream. So that's the reason. You can have almonds, which are real nuts, and walnuts, right? But not peanuts. They got everybody fooled. And it's actually tearing up your gut and causing leaky gut syndrome symptoms.
All right. Well, we all
And I
learned
love my
something.
peanut butter. I'm not trying to be a peanut butter hater. I love my peanut butter, but we got to do what's best for us.
Right. Oser says wear socks. Put the socks on the tires. All right. So we're out of here. Everybody have a great holiday.
Thank you. Thank you for another great lesson on mindset.
Well,
today.
we'll dive deeper into that on the next video because I'll get my whiteboard working. If not, I'll hook everything up to the old computer and run that just for YouTube videos.
Hey, why don't you get one of those really nice big Samsung digital boards. Have you seen those yet?
Oh, like what's her name has on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use your big
Yeah.
stylus and do all that fancy stuff.
Yeah. That's all right. I got better ways to spend money than on that.
Okay.
So if you want to donate to the channel, one of those big Samsung touchscreen deals, just send it. We'll use it. Other words, we're not buying that.
If we all get together and we raise money to get one of those, would you do more teaching videos on it?
Well, of course I would. But for me to spend that money, it's not doing nothing for the company, right? So I would rather take that money and buy a trailer or keep it and invest in a terminal or something like that than
Yeah.
a piece of electronics that'll be outdated
I
in
agree.
12 months. So,
Because a marker and a whiteboard does the job, really.
yeah, it'll do the job. But you know, we could get fancy. Maybe next year. Maybe
next
Snorlord.
year.
Maybe Snorlord will buy that for like a Christmas present.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
He's got, he's loaded over there. He's making
Yeah.
all that money. It's raining on him.
Pigtail says write it off as a
Selling
recruiting
all his
marketing
merch.
investment. Well, we know we could write it off,
Yeah.
but you're talking. It's only like $2,500, but that could go towards buying another trailer, which makes money, and of course, that could make money, but will it really? No.
It will make you look really cool. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, maybe in the
It'll make
future.
you a fancy YouTuber.
Oh, well. If we cared about being a fancy YouTuber, we'd have all kinds of stuff, right? We'd have a studio.
Green screen.
We'd go to the studio. Oh, I got a green screen. I just don't use it. It's right there. But we'd have the whole wall painted green, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. Just put whatever you want up there.
There you go.
Yeah. So if we really cared, we would go out and, rent a place, make a studio, just go there and do YouTube. But we don't want to do that. I like your whiteboard anyway, says Pigtail. 75-inch was around $500 at Walmart down here. Well, no, that's not the screen she's talking about, Pigtail. She's talking about a Samsung digital whiteboard TV, right? It's like, if you watch what's it, Trucking for Success or Success Truck, I don't know, whatever that channel is, she has one of those TVs that is a presentation TV, right? So
Yeah, it's like an iPad on steroids.
well, yeah, you can get them with all different things. So you can get them where you slide a computer into it. So now it's a computer instead of a tablet, right? So instead of let's say a 48-inch screen tablet, it's now a 48-inch screen computer. So they do have the Windows computer to slide in there for more productivity, to where you show, a lot more stuff.
It's very expensive, you guys. Very, very expensive.
Well,
Very.
then you got to get the stand to put it on, unless you want to
Yep.
mount it on the wall, because you want to be able to move it around. So the
Yeah.
stand's like $1,000 probably, 800 to 1,000. Stands as much as the TV, pretty much.
Maybe next year.
$2,500 says Pigtail. Yeah, it's a smart board. That's what they call them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so colleges are using them now, he says. So he's saying Truckers Education Network should be using one. I think that's his gist, right? Isn't that what he's saying? So,
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
all right, let me see here. You're going to make me do this. Okay, so let's see. Go ahead and talk about something while I look something up.
Okay, I'll talk about Crazy Sushi. It was great, and I'm gonna tell you why Crazy Sushi was great when me and my sister went to eat Crazy Sushi, because it is an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant, but you order it by the plate. So you would like order 3 sushi rolls, and then you eat those, and if you want some more, then you just order it. So everything is super fresh, made right there, then and there. So I just thought that was a freaking amazing concept, and it was very delicious sushi. And it's about $36 a person, and so we did that. And I was very excited because it was a cheat day for me. So I got down in there like crazy, and then we walked afterwards because we had to. But that was my fun day out of the truck, because I was literally like, me and Dee Dee were both going stir crazy. We had to get out of the truck, so I said, just come and get me. And so we did that, and I did a little footage, and I put it up on the channel, and it was fun. And I got all cleaned up and dressed and looked like a regular girl, and I had a great day with my sister.
Right.
And that was about my third 34-hour break in 10 days.
There. We'll let that roll across the bottom. So, just for Shannon, donate for a smart board, Cash App, $show BRRN. That's the Cash App.
Oh, that's where we send all the money to get the board?
Yep, that's where to go.
To raise the funds?
Raise the funds for the board.
I like it.
There you go.
I like it. I would like to see you have that. I know it's not a necessity, but I would like to see you have that, because you are a professor. So
I barely do YouTube videos anymore. Right?
And we miss you. Like,
I mean, there are
everybody
weeks
misses you.
and weeks and weeks, from like 3-4 weeks. That's usually the average now. Maybe when I get more time, I'll do more.
You're growing. You're doing big things.
We're growing the real business, right?
Right.
YouTube
That's
is
priority.
I just did YouTube to try to educate owner-operators in this industry. That's all I did.
Well, it's important.
So Pigtail just donated $5, which we appreciate it, Pigtail. But doesn't YouTube take like 70% of it or something?
I thought it. Oh yeah, you got to Cash App all that money.
Yeah. His $5 turned out to be like $2. We appreciate it though.
Yeah, but you know what?
We
can invest that money into one of your good stocks, and we can turn it into 3,000.
Now, if everybody would have listened back when Samsara dropped all the way down to $8 and some change, it went all the way up to 30. Now it's sitting somewhere in the middle in the 20s, but I wish I would have held on to my Carvana, because I owned Carvana back when it was under $4. Now it's at 50. Unbelievable.
Wow. I never thought that would have.
Unbelievable. Anyway, we will take the Cash App thing off the screen, because we're not going to get nowhere near one of those smart boards. I have to buy it anyway, but it was fun.
You never know, Jeff. We raised $7,000 on Wheelburner's channel one day.
Wait, that calls for... All right. So we'll see y'all later.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Jeff.
Here,
Thanks for the lesson.
I'll put it up there one more time just for you. Smartboard. Here, we'll speed it up. There we go. All right, we'll see y'all.